What's up, everyone? Derek Shore here, coming to you from the steps of building number 1 on the campus of the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland.
Hey, you waiting for me?
Yeah, I just need 1 second to finish up this introduction, okay? It was right here on this campus where some of the most defining moments...
we gotta go.
Can you just... Over the next half hour, we're going to show you some fascinating medical research studies right here at the NIH. So stay with me as I take you on the inside.
Welcome to NIH.
I'll see you back here in about an hour.
Well, where do I go?
Go right up this hill, and the lab is right on the other side.
Walk up this hill? What, can't you take this puppy, drive it?
I can't take that risk.
Why is it that some people will take risks and others won't?
Kiss my job goodbye, that's why.
Have you ever taken a risk? Don't think about it too long. Of course you have. We've all taken risks. It's part of being human, right? Well, research shows that teenagers are more likely than any other segment of the population to take risks. And in fact, research done right here at the NIH shows that a teenage brain is pretty different from an adult brain. But what is it that would make young adults take a risk, possibly losing everything? Well, in this first segment, we'll find out.
I'm Mike Osborne, and I'm here in Baltimore City talking about the effects of gambling and how it can affect you. I was the same age as you guys when I started gambling. I developed the addiction around the age of 15. Shooting basketball, playing pool, video games. It allowed me to walk through the halls of high school like I was the big shot. I thought it was harmless. I thought I could stop at any time. You know, in high school I learned about alcohol, drugs, safe sex, all that good stuff. No one ever told me about gambling. No one ever told me that it could ruin my life and take everything from me, from my home, my car, my career, my family. I always thought that gambling was cool, it was okay, and it can't be addictive. Gambling and the lure of gambling is all about taking risk. And as kids, we feel like, and I know I felt like, I had nothing to lose. It was worth the risk. But you may not have nothing to lose now, but I'll tell you what, I found on later in life, you got a lot to lose. I started making like $50 football bets on a weekend. And by the age of 16 or 17, I'm still betting through this vendor. And I know one given week, I ended up being down to him like $4,000. At that point, I had to go to my parents for a bailout because of the fear of what he might do. But after I got out of rehab here the first time, at 19, I got right back into trouble with a different bookie. They busted through the front door and they held a 9mm to my wife's head, with her holding my newborn baby, and told her that if I didn't have the money in a week, they weren't coming back for me, they were coming back for her.
Where you been, dog? We've been playing for like an hour.
The rush of gambling, when it gets inside of you, is a very addictive trait. Enough is never enough. With me, it got to the point where it wasn't about the money. It was about the next level of success.
This was a different craving. It was, I don't know, it took me to a higher level that I'd never felt before.
It gets in your body, it gets in your mind, it gets in your soul.
The highest point of the rush in the gambling addiction is the last 2 minutes of the football or basketball game. If you're playing Texas Hold'em, the turn of the river.
So what you got, man?
What you got?
2 pair. Aces, kings.
Gambling, like many other vices, is a lot of good times.
Full house.
Part of the addiction is living on the edge.
Sit down.
You know, are you going to get caught, or are you going to make it out of this jam?
You're gonna pay up. I can't.
The bad times outweigh the good.
Gambling can take everything from you and eventually lead you to hit rock bottom. I honestly thought I was living a nightmare. I was homeless. I lost my family. I didn't talk to my parents for 2 years because, you know, they let me know how embarrassed they were. Rock bottom for me was when I found myself before the judge being sentenced to 1.5 years at jail. It was time to check out. I couldn't do this anymore. And I honestly felt that the only way out of this was to end my life. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't.
Hello, my name is Dr. Jim Bjork. I'm a researcher at the National Institutes of Health, and I'm interested in your brain. My task is designed to look at how far will you go when you don't have a very clear picture of what the risks are, but you know they're out there. I'm interested in why kids get into so much trouble with drugs, alcohol, and gambling and other things that they can go on to lose control of. And to help us understand the brain, I do what's called functional magnetic resonance imaging. My assistant Cinnamon and I have just put a volunteer, Matt, into the scanner. He's going to be doing a game where he can win real money. We're going to see what his brain is doing when he's seeing things in his environment that means he could win money or risk losing it all. Children of parents who have substance addiction problems and gambling addiction problems, they're the ones that are at particular risk for having problems themselves, and they're the ones whose brains are starting to show some differences. And this is the kind of experiment that will let us find out. If your cerebral cortex is asleep at the switch, just remember to keep on keeping your head still. And here we go. All set?
Yep, all set.
Over. So right now, Matt is actually playing our special game while we're scanning his brain in real time. And this will help us figure out what parts of the brain are at work when Matt is seeing something on the screen that says he can win money, or when he sees that he could win money at the risk of losing it all. Some of my research has shown that part of the brain that translates incentives into action isn't quite as developed as an adult. Yep, he's going for it. He's going for the big money. Is he gonna get burnt? Oh, he busted. Gambling addiction, science is telling us, has a lot of the same brain things going wrong as being addicted to alcohol and drugs. We're not saying don't do this stuff because we don't want you to have fun or because we're trying to oppress you. It's because this is bad. The science tells us it's bad. We just need you to hold on because better things are ahead if you can make the right decisions.
There was never any peace of mind. It's a lonely place, number one, and it's a deep place. I was always willing to get in the ring and give it a go, but it always beat me. It was a mental hell, and that's a place I don't want to go back.
Coming up next on The Inside.
Suicide and his death was so opposite from who Taylor was. Taylor was showing all of the signs of steroid use. You've already got hormones raging in your body. You start shoving additional testosterone in there, the dangers are magnified. Taylor would fly into a rage.
Steroid use in the long run is very, very bad for you.
Doing anabolic steroids is death.
What about Kim?
She has HIV. We went to a party a few months ago and she got high, got stupid, and now she has HIV.
This is a wonderful internship program. It just provides so many opportunities.
Working at NIH has really broadened my experience. I wasn't interested in science at all before this.
This is the best summer job I can imagine.
The knowledge and everything I learned and experience was very worth it.
I've worked with some of the greatest doctors in the world here. If you're interested in science, this is something I definitely recommend for you.
Hey, if you think science is for nerds, come tell me that when you need a prescription.
So
you just sit in a lab and play with this stuff all the time?
Pretty much.
I guess being a scientist is a little more difficult than that, right?
A little bit. There's some method behind the madness.
Maybe I'll be a scientist. Kind of cool. Gaia is my lab partner for the day, and she's a real scientist, a brain scientist. We're talking about anabolic steroids, which are kind of like these substances in here, right?
Yeah, they're man-made chemicals like male sex hormones, like testosterone.
You always hear really bad things about steroids, but are they addictive?
They're not addictive like drugs like heroin and cocaine, but people who take them to get stronger or to achieve what they think is the perfect body, and they keep doing it even though they know that there can be bad consequences.
Uh-oh. Let's say you're taking steroids. What happens if you stop taking them?
You can go through withdrawal, where you have mood swings, fatigue, reduced sex drive, and depression. And the depression can be so severe it leads to suicide.
Suicide? We all want to be stronger and faster and more athletic. But before you consider taking steroids, you should take a look at this story.
"27 months ago, my youngest son, Taylor, took his own life. He was just 2 weeks away from beginning his senior year at Plano West Senior High School. He was carrying a 3.8 grade average. We get asked regularly didn't you notice some of the signs of steroid use in Taylor? To which I respond, in hindsight, Taylor was showing all of the signs of steroid use, but we just didn't know to equate what we were seeing with the fact that that was related to steroids. Well, during the fall of his junior year, a JV coach told this 6'3", 175-pound young man that he needed to get bigger in order to improve his chances of making the varsity baseball team. After we lost Taylor, our first instincts were to reach out and try to share with other high school families and parents what we'd been through so that they could learn. You've already got hormones raging in your body. You start shoving additional testosterone in there, and it's just the dangers are magnified. In Taylor's case, he was showing both physical and emotional signs. On the physical side, he was showing things like a severe case of acne on his back. He had very greasy skin, puffy face and neck. Even though users think they are feeling better, most are experiencing very wide mood swings, ranging from periods of violent, even homicidal behavior known as roid rages. With Taylor, we'd go from a calm conversation like you and I are having right this minute to Taylor would fly into a rage. The dangers that we've talked about are scary enough to keep you off of steroids, but I know...
The presentation that Mr. Hooten just presented was phenomenal. That information, although you're aware that there's a problem out there, you forget that it is directly affecting our 15-year-old, our 14 and 15-year-old boys.
The talk was very informative. It was pretty touching, and it really shows what can happen, and he proves his point, and it really sets in.
We're here at the Plano West Senior High School on the baseball field. Wanted to come here because this was where Taylor lived. It's where he spent most of his spare time, either practicing or playing baseball. 1, 2, 3, wait! Taylor was a loving, giving kid. I mean, we've heard story after story about Taylor reaching out to kids in school. Suicide and his death was so opposite from who Taylor was. It was just a complete loss to a whole group of people, both family as well as friends, that's just unexplainable. Suicide is a very, very selfish act. Kids just don't realize the impact that their loss has on others. The critical weapon that we have in this battle is education. Our students need to know that these drugs can seriously harm them. Visit either our website, the Taylor Hooten Foundation website, or visit NIDA or the DEA, any of the major governmental websites that speak to this problem. I'm convinced that trying to warn 16-year-olds about the danger of liver cancer or having a heart attack probably going to fall on deaf ears. The ultimate textbook, right out of the medical textbook, result of doing anabolic steroids is death.
On behalf of my son, Taylor Hooten, Rob Garibaldi, and Efren Marrero, whose parents are with us today, let me implore you to take steps to clean up this mess. Please help us to see that our children's lives were not lost in vain. You have the power to do something about it, and we're counting on you to do so.
Taylor was 17 years old when he took his life. He was my baby. He was my son.
I am pleased to say that NIDA has supported 2 highly effective prevention programs. Atlas, targeting male athletes, and Athena, targeting female athletes.
Through a grant from the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Atlas and Athena were developed over years of research into the use of substance abuse among young adolescent athletes.
When you see cases of other athletes taking steroids, you get, the perception that, to get at that level, that you're gonna have to take steroids.
I think girls are starting to use steroids because they want to be kind of like the guys and get stronger.
Steroids seem, I guess, intriguing. You want to be better than the other player.
And the reason that we're using the Atlas and Athena program is to teach them how they can do it naturally without the use of drugs or potentially harmful supplements.
Go!
So we're here in Nashville working with the schools, training coaches and squad leaders to implement the program.
I want you guys to figure out how to do that.
I'm Ashley.
So the program has components that really look at the risk and protective factors.
I think the media portrays women to be skinny and perfect, no flaws, and that's really not how they are. And this program kind of helps to show the truth.
In Runner's World, they show a lot of women with huge muscles, and you may think if I take steroids, then I'm going to look like that.
When you see all those bodybuilding competitions with those girls that are just ripped out of their mind, that's not attractive.
I think a guy would go for a girl who has as big or bigger muscles than they do.
I don't want my girlfriend to be able to beat me up.
Anabolic steroids are body-shaping drugs. For a young woman, she can really get a big boost from taking anabolic steroids and lose body fat, but it also means she loses breasts, and she loses scalp hair, and she grows hair on her face, and some of those changes aren't reversible.
We walked away from the Atlas program just knowing that steroid use in the long run is very bad for you.
You can't have kids.
Heart damage, having liver failure, small testicles. Yeah, shrunken testicles. That's not too fun. Yeah, that's probably the worst one, I'd say. I second that.
I think the Athena program actually changes people's minds and makes them make healthier choices.
When the kids use their own initiative and their own creativity, you always get a remarkable moment.
If you're steroid free and you know it, shake your boobs. If you're steroid free and you know it, then the boys will surely know it. If you're steroid and you're free and you know it, shake your boobs.
This is what it's about, having fun, promoting healthy messages, positive messages, and building friendships with people that have the same ideals.
All the information that we learned from the program was very helpful. And so, yes, I do think we could relay the message.
Share what steroids can do to your body and just tell them how not to do it and why not to do it.
We Can stands for Ways to Enhance Children's Activity and Nutrition.
16% of children in the United States are overweight.
Just do some kind of physical activity with your child.
Obesity, if we don't take care of it now, it's going to lead to many more people being sick in the future.
How you doing there? Good?
Good, I'm good.
Hey guys, Derek Shore back here with my buddy Wally. We are in one of the weight rooms on the campus of the National Institutes of Health. The last one? All right, good job. But when you're young, you don't really think about the consequences of not getting enough exercise or maybe not eating right. Oh, well, I've had enough of a workout. You just want to hang out and have fun, kind of like we're doing right now.
You're talking about fun and I'm in pain.
Fun? This is not fun. You want anything? You try this. You try this.
All right, boy. I think I'm good. There's an epidemic going on in this country right now, and it's called teen obesity. Obesity. You know, I do work out. Whether it's thyroid or genetics or just simply bad eating habits, the researchers here at the National Institutes of Health want to find the answers.
Hi, I'm Lexi Haddad. I'm 13 years old, and today we are at Mount Vernon Players Church. So here we are in the theater, and I'm in my dressing room. I am a professional actress, and that is why you see me putting makeup on, because that's what you do before you go on stage. What scene are we on?
Scene 2.
About 3 years ago, I was diagnosed with a pituitary gland tumor. It controlled my energy level, my communication skills, and my weight issue made it even worse. Oh God, do something. Kids would tease me because of my weight. They would make fun of me, call me names, think I was weird. Kids were spitting, punching, hitting me, and that's when we just said, this is it.
Hi, my name is Megan Kelleher, and today I'm going shopping for some clothes in Georgetown. I really like that, especially that blouse. A friend of mine has that blazer right there. It's really cool. Let's see if they have it in my size. Just like I thought. I might be able to get the backpack, but that's about it. Hard to find stuff to wear because of my size. A lot of things are made just for people who are like size 2 to 10, you know, and I need like twice that much. So I'm gonna see what I can find here in Georgetown. Sometimes I end up just buying shoes and purses because that's all I can find. Sometimes I prefer to shop by myself because I'm like a size 20, and most people don't even know that sizes go up that big. Size 1. Who wears a size 1? I mean, come on, people. I'm really tired of being different. I just want to fit in and be able to, like, shop with my friends. Ooh, I like that. This is a really great store, but I couldn't find anything in my size. They had some really great accessories, though. I might come back for one of those crazy bags with the shimmers on it. But maybe I'll try my luck shopping online.
So are you pretty okay with what we're going to be doing today?
I think it will be good. I am followed at NIH for my pituitary gland tumor, and the doctors also told me about this weight program.
10 years ago, we became really concerned about the fact that obesity and overweight were becoming much more likely to occur in young kids and teens. There are about 20 million children and adolescents in the U.S. who are at risk for overweight or already overweight, and about half of those are seriously overweight. So it's a major concern for all of us here at the NIH.
Yes, I've been accepted into this program at NIH, and there's about 150 other people my age who are participating in it, and we all have that kind of common bond of being overweight. It's kind of nice to know that I'm not the only person that has this problem. I found out about the NIH program through a friend of mine. I was kind of scared at first. I was like, they're gonna like start poking at me and stuff. But no, I mean, it's not that bad. The people are really nice, and they're really trying to help me. It's kind of exciting to have this whole new world open up.
Hi, you must be Megan.
Hi.
Hi. I'm Kelly. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is Erica. She's going to be doing your bod pod
Hi,
test today.
Erica.
Nice to meet you, Megan.
Nice to meet you.
So we're going to do your bod pod testing today.
Okay.
So the first thing I need you to do is to change your clothes and put on a bathing suit.
My unit's called the Unit on Growth and Obesity, and we're very interested in trying to understand how to prevent obesity and also how to treat it. So we have several studies going on that are all aimed at understanding the best ways to do just that.
One of the things we do is body composition tests. So we want to know how much of kids is fat and how much is everything else, lean, your organs, everything else. So the bod pod test is one quick and easy way to do that.
They're putting me in this this pod. It's kind of creepy looking, but it's not that bad. Like it looks kind of scary, but that's just to measure the body fat.
So I'm gonna have you get into the bod pod, okay? Open the door. All right, and ignore this tube for now, but go ahead and have a seat. Feel okay?
When I first did it, I was kind of scared because it was all closed off. Like I was in another world and I couldn't hear anything else.
So right now she's holding still, and it's measuring how much volume she's taking up in this machine. In a while, I'm gonna have her breathe in the tube, and I'll measure the air in her lungs. Now when I hold up 2 fingers, I want you to do 3 short puffs, like not too hard, but not too soft either, okay?
Most people don't get to have adventures like that.
The exercise test is a test that Lexi got to do today, and it's actually really interesting because it's a test that professional athletes get to do.
Okay, you gotta breathe in harder though. You're not breathing enough. You gotta go. Keep going, we're almost done, and you got it.
I really liked the bicycle test, but it was just a little odd because I had to wear a small helmet and I had to have a nose plug.
It's important when you're doing the test that you not talk to me, okay? You just keep breathing in and out. What I will be doing is checking every so often if you're feeling okay.
The studies involve a whole battery of tests to try to understand what's gone wrong in their bodies. So the bicycle test is where we measure heart rate and oxygen consumption as a measure of fitness, and we look at how that changes as children lose weight.
It gets progressively harder as the test goes on, so it's impossible to go longer than 20 minutes, but Lexi did very well today.
It was very interesting. I wouldn't say it was fun, but it was very interesting. This has helped me a lot, you know, deal with my weight issues and everything like that. The future calls. Ta-ta.
Looking forward to working with the people at NIH and, you know, trying to figure out why I am the way I am. They have a really cool website that's really informative that talks about, you know, all their programs. I mean, this is not the only thing they do, but I feel really, really privileged to be accepted into the program and to be a part of this, because I really hope it's gonna change my life.
Thanks for the ride, George, but I think I'm good.
Are you sure you want to walk?
Yeah, I'd rather walk, actually.
What, you don't like my driving?
I think he needs glasses or something. Oh.
I don't think he likes my driving.
Keep it real, George. As you can see, there's a lot of interesting things going on here at the NIH. But even more, there's groundbreaking research that's providing medical benefits for all ages, including teens. So if you'd like to know more about this show or the clinical studies and internship opportunities here, check us out online, nih.gov/On the Inside. Until next time, I'm Derek Shore, and this is NIH On the Inside. See ya.